What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. My name is Splattercat. We are running in the shadows today. We got to do a little bit of decking business, and so where we left off in the previous episode, our run had gone south, as they all seem to do. And so, unfortunately, we weren't able to get through this without any bloodshed. I don't know if it's possible to get through this without bloodshed. It seems as though things were sort of arranged against us so as to make this combat happen no matter what. But anyways, water under the bridge at this point. Now we just need to make it out in one piece. Preferably one piece that hasn't been shot to shit, if you follow me. So anyways, Blitz's persona is now in the Matrix. I'm going to take a turn out here and we're going to summon up all of our random little guys. As always, I'm going to try and send them in first. Not trying to trigger any AI or ice right now. If I was in a rush, we've already killed off most of the guards, so I don't feel like I'm really justified in rushing myself so hard that I end up in a fight that I don't want to deal with. Looks like we've got a little bit of a turn right here. I don't know where the enemy's going to align itself. There it is. So I knew there was probably something fishy about this situation. Can the exploder get in here and do his deal before anything else goes wrong? I don't know if that'll hit everything. We'll try though. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and I suppose we'll just deal with it. Hopefully we get somebody with this. Pretty good explosion right there, not bad at all. And then we're gonna follow that up with a blaster. And if that doesn't make us pro, I don't know what will. So there it is. A little bit of damage done, a few things handled. Ice melted, etc. Doing the job that the sun normally occupies itself with. We've got the server room right there. Everything's on lockdown. We might have a look around just to see what we can accomplish while we're here. Drone Control Center. Well, I suppose I may have made a bolt for that too. I could have ended up with some new pet drones. Disappointing, but an oversight that is not necessarily a rare occurrence for us here at the Nerd Castle. What is this? Drone control interface active. Please input command. Display automated security status. Active alert mode. Multiple security alerts registered. Okay. Current processes. Software diagnostic in process. CRSS.exe. Client server runtime. Host process is up. Okay. So I should probably bring a decker over here at some point. A lot of locked doors in this place. It makes me feel very unwelcome. He's out of cover, but pretty deep field. Hopefully we can get him. Nope. Well, if at first you don't succeed. And so now we want to switch to a different location. And we'll go tar bomb right there. And so now that they've been glued to the ground, we used to have a game when I was a kid that we would play. It was a pretty simple game. It wasn't one of those games that kids probably shouldn't play, where we wanted to see. Where I grew up, it got to like 120 degrees in the summer. And we had this game where we would see who could stand out on the asphalt the longest in the afternoon and basically give ourselves like third-degree burns on the bottom of our feet. Our parents didn't know about this game, but anyways. I don't know if that's what it feels like to be tarred in the Matrix, but at a certain point, my feet, the bottom of my feet were like little stone rocks. Like I burned them so many times playing that game with my friends that I was essentially just walking on stone. Like it didn't even hurt anymore. I imagine that's how it must have felt for like indigenous peoples who just didn't wear shoes whatsoever. Like eventually your feet just became so hardened and hardcore that it didn't matter. So I'll move him up a little bit closer since his chance to hit is pretty much nil. He's trying to run away. That ice is showing... That ice is showing actually pretty good judgment right now for an automated program that's supposed to do one thing or another. I don't think retreating is on his list of things to do, though. We also have a fairly large red bar here at the bottom of the screen that's making me feel nervous. So I think what I'll do is I will suppress it now rather than later. Send the attack drone in. Oh god! Okay, don't send the attack drone in. So they're gonna lead off with their foot forward, unfortunately. Their cubic foot. Well, I guess his punctured spheroidal. I don't know. It looks like a bead that you would put on a necklace. I would like to do an erosion on Mia. And for Mia, we shall just unleash the Daka on you. Hopefully we don't have friendly fire. Oh, that was a bad decision. I am bad at decision making. Luckily, he's bad at aiming. I'm bad at decision making and he's bad at aiming. It's a really bad combination. It's a good thing we're not the police. Get rid of that. And we'll get rid of him. There's a lot of ice in this system. Like, this system is seriously iced up. I feel like it might have a professional rapping career going on because... Oh my god, I hate you so much, Attack 1. If it wasn't for erosion, I hate you so much. Upgrade your ESPs, man. You cheap bastard. I pay you so much after every single mission. I mean, honestly, you guys took like 6,000 new yen from our last run. Financial data server. That seems useful. Guess I'll move into cover here. Leave him as a big... Please don't land any we got hit. Okay. The one behind us doesn't really seem to be too interested in us, and I'm okay with that. 75 damage done there, and then we're going to go over to the erosion as we always do, our little spell rotation that we've had going for the entire game. Just kind of spread the love around a bit. Our attack ESP looks like he's making friends with this guy over here, so let's make friends. Let's throw a bunch of digital Hadoukens up in his face. One turn till Blaster's back up. I'm going to focus on the one that's back behind my lines. And he's not melted yet. Okay, so now he has finally been melted. They've all got a lot of HP, but they don't hit kind of decidedly hard. Not enough to like change my planning process or anything, so I suppose we will stay the course. Oh god, attack program, don't be a hero. Don't be a hero, attack program. Just let it go. I've got this. So we've gotten rid of him, and then with my final move, I'm going to run a medic on my attack program, and then we shall steal some financial data. Oh yes, get up in there, attack program. Get me that financial datum. Boom, optional, recover the pay data. That's not what I wanted. Get your bad self back to this little gatey thing right here. Ooh, we got freebie karma too. If you put karma backwards, it's Amrak. Amrak sounds like the god, it basically sounds like Marduk. Something like that. Amrak, Lord of Destruction. I am Amrak. This is how I get sidetracked in real life all the time. Like, riding in a car with me has got to be truly obnoxious because I do it the entire time. I mean, it's not like it's something that goes away. Let's suppress the alarm one more time because we haven't been doing that, and I probably should. It's going to kick us back into the realm of the real. I'm going to open this door right here because I feel like it's not a terrible idea. The door is open. Should probably run some heals and stuff too. We'll do it next turn. There's always time. Nothing terrible is going to happen in the next 4 seconds. Loads and loads of ice. I am going to corner up because that thing throws giant Kamehameha bolts of doom at me after it charges them up. It's more like a spirit bomb, I think, because he's got to charge it up for a while. But then again, some of the Kamehamehas get kind of charged up long-windedly as well, I suppose, as you work your way through DBZ. I treated my significant other to the first season of Dragon Ball Z. She actually liked it. She liked it a lot. It was pretty sweet. I wasn't sure she was going to enjoy it. She really liked Cowboy Bebop, which she had never seen. I was a little bit iffy. I feel like that might get my guy. But then again, like I said, I can never really aim this properly. Let's try right there, and if it misses, it misses. Yeah. I can never... The cube just simply isn't definitive enough. Like, I can't really see where it's aiming for. Kind of disappointed that I wasted my exploder so early. I'm also kind of disappointed in you, Attack ESP. I really am kind of angry with Blitz right now for not upgrading his software. To stop spending all his money on drug debts. So now that I've just failed horribly at targeting, so I'm just going to focus fire as hard as I can, and he's going to continue missing. Three Toe is going to throw a heal before I overlook it on Glory. And then it looks like our line of sight has been blocked, but that's okay because that thing was 100% charged, and I don't feel like dealing with him right now. He may still be able to hit my attack ESP, and I find that to be agreeable. It's okay. Oh, he lost it. I guess he can only use it on the turn that it completes. The turn that it comes to completion. Nothing to be said there. He's up to 100%, so he's got to go this round. Blasters can actually, if you don't have a way to hit them consistently, using AoEs as a sure thing can be a really, really good plan of attack. There we go. So we'll send in the attack program to go get the secure data. Oh, there's even more. Oh my god, how much ice can you put in one system? This is actually sort of becoming tedious. Like, give me a challenge or just, like, stop spawning things. Anywho, that's like, somebody will be down in the comments, well, you could have picked a higher difficulty! Promise you. Let's finish off this final ice who's just being a douche and getting in the way of something that should be a sure thing. Get out of here, ice douche. There we go. So now we can get the secure data server node. And so we've destroyed the comlink software. And we can now escape. And I think I'm just going to take Blitz, and let's just jack out of here right now. I don't really want to waste too much time getting out of this system, so I'm just going to take him first, and if we can get him out, then that's perfectly fine. I should also probably check and see what's in this room. Alone, by myself, Scooby-Doo style. Just a bunch of drones. Okay. The drones are like, hey, we're pretty good at thinking about stuff. We think outside the box. We're not drones. Actually, technically you are. That would really suck, though, if you were a drone that was actually capable of self-awareness. Because then whenever somebody just called you a drone, you'd just be like, well, do you mean, like, figuratively or do you mean literally? Because I think we have two different important distinctions to make right now, and we're not cutting, like, the proper tone at the moment. Are they going to attack me? If they're not going to attack me, I think I'm just going to leave. Killing two drones doesn't seem like something that's very interesting to me. I'm going to try and keep everybody together. It deactivated his drone? Why did it do... Oh, maybe because he had to use all of his AP to stay in the Matrix or something? It, like, auto-turns it off? There we go. Send Woogie in first. Or, I'm sorry, Max. Woogie 4.0. I miss Woogie 3.0. I wish we could have kept him. He was my favorite toy that they've given us the entire time we've been playing. And so now we have the super boring, long, drawn-out run back to the car. I always hated that when you went to, like, theme parks, where you had, like, a 45-minute walk-in from the parking lot to the theme park itself. Like, if you've ever been to Disneyland, you park so damn far away. Are you seriously going to send a drone in after me right now? I'm not sure how to address this. Let's just get out of here. No point wasting time shooting at people that I don't need to shoot at. We've taken a lot of lives tonight. It's one of those points where you've got to step back and really kind of ethically think about whether you can get away with murdering more people. But the world of Shadowrun is one that is filled with vague platitudes with regards to morality, so you do what you gotta do. Move as slowly as possible, drone, I beg you. Exit. Oh man, Blitz is gonna be the last one out. It'll be fine. Nothing terrible could happen from this situation. Nothing could conceivably go wrong right now, Taser. Ow. That was impolite. And so there it is. We've managed to make our escape from OTK. And so now the question is whether it's just going to jump us into the next run straight off the bat. The Kreuzbesser. The U-Bahn ride home is smooth and uneventful. The high-ups at OTK International must be scrambling to try and recover their losses. It's only a matter of time before they make the call and Amsel's compromised data is uploaded to Knight Errant's comlinks. You're going to be rolling into Az technology with one hell of an advantage. Not bad for a night's work. I've also sort of wondered that if you were like a knight, so if you were a knight errant, you'd be like, not bad for a knight's work, but then it would be Knights, and that would be kind of vaguely punny and humorous at the same time. But only vaguely, only slightly. I don't want to give myself too much credit right there, but you know, trademark, Splattercat. Don't use it. Don't use it or I'll go crazy. So we've got to go to the Payphone to return the data to the Schockwellenreiter. And I think the old Payphone is going to be right on over here. I would really doubt that by 2040 whatever, they're still going to... We're in 2060 something, are we? I don't remember. But anyways, I doubt that there would be any Payphones left by that point. I mean, I don't see Payphones already, and it's only 2014, so I think the last time I saw a Payphone was forever. Cell phones, not a good thing for the Metro Payphone system. Deliver the Humanus donor list. There it is. The machine accepts the data upload, and only a few moments later, a certified cred stick is spat out of the coin slot. The phone's old LCD readout displays the text Freedom, Equality, Information, Schockwellenreiter. So 500 right there. Wait, didn't we have two sets of data? Okay, so we've got to sell that to some random other person. That's fine. I mean, I don't really like using the data auction system because it always takes forever for us to get our money back, but at the same time, we don't really have a choice. It's one of those systems that you're forced to use. So, no point bitching and moaning about it. Let's just go sell our data and get some free money, and once that's all done and done, we will go out for some fun and more fun. Tap the Nerf or meter biter sign on the way in. The cool blue tones, and we want to... Do we have any messages? No. Okay, and Shadowland PBS. We will claim payment for the sold pay data. Humanus Safe House data. It's only 460 new yen. That seems like something that would be worth a lot more money. We will post the pay data for OTK. Hopefully we'll get that back in time in order to use it. Check the status of the Alice Fund. It's at 45,000 right now, so it'll be well over the top by the time we get this whole job done. And so that leaves me with 2,500 new yen with which to conduct business around town. Let's have some conversations. Let's talk to some people. Do a little bit of the old goblin gab. Three-Toe, you need something? Any thoughts about that last run? Nothing we haven't already talked about. Oh, it's not counting that little mini run as a run then. Okay, that's fine. She had like a really interesting breakthrough, so I'm going to keep checking in on Glory every now and again. Three-Toe, a pleasure as always. Need anything from me? If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were warming up to me. She studies your face for a moment before responding. I suppose you might say that. I don't talk to many people, Three-Toe. It just doesn't seem to be worth the effort. I definitely know the feeling. I don't really feel much anymore, not since she caresses the crumb of her forearm with a hand made of articulated steel. This. If that's true, why are you still talking to me? Well, I suppose because you've shown an interest, and because you won't let me push you away. She locks eyes with you, her expression is blank. I don't want to mislead you, Three-Toe. I still don't feel anything, not warmth or friendship or even trust. But I can appreciate the effort you're making. It's something new, and it's worthy of exploring. You ready to tell me about that chrome you're sporting? I'm getting there, Three-Toe, but you'll have to give me some time. The answers will come when they do. You said things went bad when you turned 14. I'd like to keep talking about that. She stares at you, her face expressionless. No, I'd rather not. Why not? Because I don't see a reason to. The memories are unpleasant, and dredging them up doesn't serve any real purpose. Well, you're wrong about that. The last time we talked, it had an impact on you. That's reason enough to continue. She pauses a moment to consider your words, a troubled look on her face. I suppose that's true. Feeling discomfort is better than feeling nothing at all. Alright, so here's the deal, Three-Toe. I'm gonna talk and you can listen. When I'm done, I'm done. No complaints and no arguments. We'll see what happens. Deal? Deal. Right. The 1,000-meter stare creeps back into Glory's eyes. A moment later, she's locked away in her own head again, reliving memories that she's long since filed away. So a few days after my 14th birthday, I began to express, magically. Judging from what I saw in your aura, your awakening must have been an incredible thing. It was actually fairly standard. The real power didn't come until later, but we'll get to that. There's another long pause and Glory becomes more animated. Anyways, I turned 14 and I awakened. I don't even remember how my parents found out about it anymore. I think that my dad caught me playing with a tiny city spirit that I coaxed out of a pile of garbage or something like that. With everything that happened afterwards, those days are all kind of a blur. What I do remember is my father's response to the revelation that his little girl was a witch. A hex, or a hexa? I don't know that word. He beat the living shit out of me with his fist, and then his belt, and then a claw hammer that he grabbed out of his toolbox. And all while my mother was screaming and flailing at him, she took a couple of licks with the hammer too. It's a miracle you survived. Just lucky, I guess. So finally, after what felt like an hour, Dad stopped tuning me up with the hammer. I had broken ribs, a busted arm, I couldn't see out of my left eye, and my entire right side was covered with one giant bruise. I was bleeding all over the place, making a real mess of the carpet. The old bastard spat on me, his bleeding, crying daughter. He spat on me and told me that I was des teufels, the devil's whore. Then he kicked me out of the house. That was my best enunciation. You'll have to forgive me. I butchered it. It's all right. As I was crawling away, my father told me that if he or any of his Kreuzritter brothers or Kreuzritter brothers ever saw me again, they'd beat me, or they'd treat me as a Berlin chapter treats the enemies of God. If you're not familiar with how the Kreuzritters here in Berlin deal with heretics, it's decidedly less pretty than what my dad and his buddies did to their victims. I got the hint, and the next morning I hitched a ride out of Stuttgart. So you were a human girl, presumably with an ID. Why didn't you go to a hospital? Oh, I did, but not in Stuttgart. If I went to a local hospital with the kind of injuries that Dad gave me, there'd be questions, and I couldn't afford to stay in town any longer than I had to. Even if my dad wound up getting arrested for beating me, the rest of the local Kreuzritters would have found me, and I'd have wound up skinned alive and thrown into the Neckar. I wound up in Tübingen, and I figured it'd be a safe enough place to find medical attention and maybe to call home. It's not far from Stuttgart, but it has a huge student community that I figured I could blend into. The university there has a decent magic department. My ride dropped me off at the university hospital and they patched me up pretty good. Had some questions for me about how I got so beaten up, but I lied and told them I'd been mugged, which played nicely into my complete lack of cash, credit, and identification. Glory pauses for a moment, looks down at the floor, then fixes her eyes on you, visibly tense. We're gonna fast forward through the next few years. I was a kid on the streets. I got by as best as I could, doing whatever I had to do. The rest we can leave up to your imagination. Good? Well, you did what you had to do. I'm no stranger to that myself. I don't think anyone working in the shadows is. She nods. I figured you'd understand. So anyways, I lived on the street for a few years. Got used to being hungry all the time, got used to getting rained on, but got by. I was painfully aware that I had magical talents, but without any kind of training or guidance, I didn't really know how to use or develop them. Truth be told, they scared me, so I more or less ignored them. So it just sort of went like that until a few days after my 17th birthday. Then I met Marta, and everything changed. Marta was a sweet girl. At first, I took her for a street kid like me. Her clothes were a little ratty, and she seemed comfortable being near me. But she also looked well-fed and happy, and those were two things that I hadn't been in years. We started hanging out, and before I knew what was happening, I was in love. There was a genuine attraction between Marta and me, I think, but I also think that a lot of the affection for her came from the fact that she was the first person in years to give a damn about me. She cared, and I loved her for it. Glory pauses, looks flustered, and her composure cracks. Keep going, Glory. She stares at you for a beat, then nods. A few ragged breaths later, she continues. Marta told me about a place where she'd been hanging out and invited me to join her there. It was called the Fireplace, and it was sort of a commune for dispossessed youth. It turns out a lot of the street kids I'd known over the years had moved there. The way they disappeared, I'd assumed they'd been kidnapped or killed and had gone back to their parents, but there they were. I remember being kind of angry about it, like, how did everybody get the memo but me? Marta calmed me down. She was good at helping me work through my feelings, and I wound up following her over to the Fireplace or whatever. To a street kid, it was basically paradise. The owner, a guy named Harrow, had set up this little farm just outside Tübingen in the Schönbuck Forest. The Schönbuck is officially a nature park, but not many people go there nowadays. Too much a fear of the paranormal animals, I guess. Yeah, like Wendigos and shit. If you're not familiar with Shadowrun, basically, like, all of the wild areas have been retaken over by all manner of crazy critter. You've got Wendigos, you've got hellhounds. I mean, you get about 10 feet out of the city, and it gets real nasty real fast. Just in terms of, it's not even anything that really wants to kill you outside of any sort of natural, it's just instinct. I mean, they're hunting you just like they would hunt normal prey, but there are definitely magical critters all over the place as soon as you get outside the city walls. Anyways, park or not, it was plenty big enough for us to hide in. It was also safe and pretty, and the farm was well stocked with food. Most importantly, the Fireplace gave us a sense of community and stability that we never had on the street, and we loved Harrow for that. He became like a surrogate father to all of us. Glory pauses again. You recognize the distinctive flush in her cheeks. She seems to have come out of her reverie once again. That's enough for now. I need to process all of this, and I don't want to continue forward until I've had the chance to do it. I know that this all happened years ago, but I guess that it's still pretty raw to me, so I'm going to ask you to give me some space for a while. She turns away and the frost begins to creep back into her voice. We can pick it back up later. Okay, so we promised to let it go, so we're going to let it go. This is lit up blue again. So I'm going to take a look. I don't know if maybe BBS is sold off. Okay, so that hasn't gone. What happens if you search it for relevant keywords? That's something that I've never done before. Oh, there's like little drowning in junk messages. Oi, chummers, I could use your help. Every time I jack into the Matrix these days, I'm flooded with junk mail. There's so much of it that I can't even see. Anyone help me? Rolling Thunder. Great, another newbie that thinks he's on tech support board. Wraith like, hey, stuff it. I wouldn't ask, but I'm desperate. I can't deck like this. Alright, Thunder, calm down. It seems like you've gotten traced by an ad bot. Been poking around anywhere sketchy lately? I don't need the details. A simple yes or no will do. Nah, Bandit, I haven't been anywhere like that. I swear. Please help me. Well, what you want to bet he gave his personal info to some scam site. I'll give you 10 to 1 odds. No, I don't think so. All I've ever done was make an online dating profile. Let me guess. Meet and mate? How'd you guess? It's not a real dating site, Thunder. It's a place where desperate people go to get infected with malware. Well, what do I do? How do I make it stop? I don't know. Buy a new deck. Best of luck. Yep, it's like every tech support forum that I've ever been to. I love tech support forums. Actually, tech support forums are only fun if you know what you're talking about. If you're one of those random people like that guy, they totally suck. I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're going to break it off right here. Take care out there, everybody, and be safe running through the shadows. Hopefully we'll elucidate a few more things in the next episode. Feeling a little spent right now, though, so I think I'm going to bail out. Take care out there, and I will see you in the next episode.